welcome. In this lecture, we are going to learn how can we configure our mobile policies. Like whenever you have smartphones, like most of the companies these days, they have security where they want their employees to only use their office phones, not their personal phones, to configure their emails. So what you can do is you can create mobile policies. You can configure mobile settings so that you can allow, you can deny certain mobile models. For example, you don't want people to use iPhone, or you want them only to use Samsung or Android phones. You can configure all those kind of policies through by using your mobile settings. So like if you go to uh, mobile option in here, and in here you will be able to see that you got mobile device mailbox policies. So we already have a default policy. Let's create a new policy, and in here I'll say restrict some phones, and allow mobile devices that don't fully support these policies to synchronize. So if I click in here, what's going to happen is that most of the mobile phones, like they are older, their version is older, their operating system is older, they won't be able to support, or they won't be able to import all these policies and apply it on their settings because they cannot support it. So what are you going to do in here is you are going to click here, allow mobile devices that don't fully support these policies to synchronize. If you don't click in here, what's going to happen is that most of the mobiles that they don't support these policies, they don't have like such features, they are not capable of doing that. They will not be able to apply most of the policies, or they will not be able to apply the policies. So other thing, policies for Exchange ActiveSync and OA devices, where you can see that you can say require a password. Select policies that you want to enable Exchange ActiveSync and OA for your devices. And for example, I want to say allow simple password. No, I don't want to allow simple password. What I want to do is I want to start from 3. So what is going to happen is password must include this many character sets. For example, the character set is lower and uppercase letter number. It can be anything. You can just put in here like how many character set you can just put. So for example, in this scenario, what are we going to do is our legal department wants to allow mobile devices, but they want us to encrypt it. So what are we going to do is we are going to click on this option, which is going to encrypt, require encryption on devices. This is going to require encryptions, and you can configure more options like minimum password length, all those kind of things for your encryption purposes. So that's how you can configure your all right. The property value isn't valid that contain leading or trailing white spaces. So white space is not accepted. So what are we doing in here is we're creating a new mobile policy where when they connect to their phones, it should require a password, and it should be like 4 character set, and then it should also require encryption. So we are securing it. We are securing uh, our mobile devices. Like when our mobile devices connect to our exchange, it should be encrypted. So I'll type encrypt in here, press save, and it is now created. So now if I go to mobile device access, this is something that I really want to show you. If you see that Exchange ActiveSync access settings now allow synchronization with mobile devices that aren't managed by rules or personal exemption. You haven't selected any administrator to receive quarantine emails. So what are we gonna do in here is we're gonna select whenever someone tries to access, tries to connect the mobile to the Exchange server, and they do not meet those rules, and they're exempted, they should be quarantined, they should be allowed, they should be blocked. If I click on edit in here, you can see that when a mobile device that isn't managed by a rule or personal exemption connected to exchange, what should it do? We will say quarantine. So what are we doing in here in our scenario? We are trying to configure a mobile device settings, saying that whenever users in legal tries to access our exchange through the mobile devices, what it should do first, it should make sure that the connection between exchange and mobile device should be encrypted, which we already configured. And the second thing that we did was to just require password, and that password should be like 4 character set. So that was our policy for mobile. But in here, what are we saying is, if they do not meet those rules, what should it do? It should quarantine. Most of the time you quarantine it, and then you say quarantine notification email message, select an administrator. So what are we doing in here is, we are saying when a mobile device tries to connect to exchange and it does not meet those exceptions or rules, it should send a message notification to the administrators, and administrator is Jeff and Parviz. So I'm saying that send a notification to Jeff and Parviz. Text to include message to sent to users whose mobile device is in quarantine. So what you can do is you can just type, hi user, your mobile is blocked because you do not meet the requirement, or your device do not meet the requirement. Please contact 433 number, or send email to it@elmjotech.local. So that's what you can do. So what's going to happen now when their device do not meet those rules, isn't managed by those rules, then it is going to quarantine it, and it's going to send an email to Jeff and Parviz to let them know that there is a device quarantined, and then it is going to send a message to these users, and once the device is quarantined, for example, what you can do is, you can edit it, you can see the detail, you can allow it. For example, okay, the legal department calls you, hey, you know what, my mobile device is quarantined, and I got a notification, you need to allow it as soon as possible. And you say, I'm afraid, okay, I'm gonna do it. So what you will do, you will just come here, select this quarantine device, and then allow it. Or you can say block, or if you're angry on him, like, I don't care, you do not meet the policy, I'm going to block you, I don't care if you're going to fire me or not. Just kidding. So another, you can create a rule for a similar mobile device. So what you can do is, like, this mobile that is quarantined, you really want to allow it, but what you want to do is, you want to allow other mobile devices that is going to have similar policies or similar settings like that. You can simply create a copy, or a copy of this quarantine device settings or policies, which will allow the next coming mobile devices, and it will allow them, so all of them will not be quarantined. And then the other one is like refresh. So other thing that you can do is, you can device access rule. You can just tell the exchange that you only need to allow, for example, all families, or for example, if I say all families and then click on model, you can click on model in here. So I don't know why I'm not seeing iPhone in here, but you can add iPhone in here too. For example, you can click on browse, and then you can select on iPhone, and then once you click on iPhone, you can click submodel like 7C, 6S, all those kind of things. You can say block or allow. So you can simply click on devices, family, and models, where you can let the exchange know what type of mobiles you want to allow, which is really a great thing, because most companies, when they have exchange server, and when they give or provide mobile phones to their users or their employees, they give like either iPhone, like iPhone 6, 7, or iPhone 30, which is like going to come in 2060. So so you can just define those devices family in there, to allow them or not allow them. And for example, you only allow iPhones when a user tries to connect to your exchange using Samsung. He will or she will not be able to. So that's how you can do it. So I want to allow all family, and this is the submodel. And once I click here, so this is my device allow list, and this is now created. So that's how your mobile devices mailbox policies works. Like how can we apply it to a user? So Parviz is from legal department, and what we want to do is we want to make sure that when he tries to connect to the exchange, the mobile device should use encryption. He cannot change password. He should change password, and which is like 4 character set. And then what other thing we defined in there is like, if his mobile do not matches those policies and those things, it should send a notification to IT. And then he should also receive a notification that he should contact 433, or like the IT department. And the other thing that we were supposed to do is what was supposed to do was to add iPhone, which I had no option. So what I can do in here is, now I can simply go to mailbox features. Once I go to mailbox features, you can see that I have mobile devices here, view details. I can click on browse, and then I can click the policy and press save. So that's how you can apply mobile device policies, where you can restrict different mobile families. You can create a policy like how they can connect. Should they be encrypted? They should not be encrypted. So all depends on your company's requirements. So that's how you can configure mobile devices settings and policies. And I hope you have learned something, and I'll see you in the next lecture.